Welcome to Thursday's Night Stuff with me, Matthew Wright. It is the 28th of May, the morning after Man United's crushing defeat at the hands of Barcelona. Shame, eh? What a stinker. Talking of stinky things, I wonder what the panel makes of these. These perfumes are supposed to capture the essence of childhood. This one with the red label smells of crayons, apparently. The one with the yellow label smells of Play-Doh. Let's find out. First up, go on, Dominic Holland, ladies and gentlemen. Dominic Holland is here. So, which one are you choosing?
Play-Doh.
OK.
Yeah, Play-Doh.
That would have been my choice, too.
Oh, not yet. Not yet, no. Give it time. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can get that doughy. Yes, I can.
Would you wear it as some kind of...
Would I hell?
Yeah, Amanda Lamb, ladies and gentlemen, by the way.
These aren't commercial, surely. They're not commercial. I was going to want to wear that.
Crayon?
Yeah, the Play-Doh's very strong.
Oh, what a professional. Look at that. That's
that.
Girl, that's what girls do.
Put on your neck. God,
Oh, yeah, you can get it. Sniff me, Jim. I've always wanted
Jim Kerr, ladies and gentlemen.
You can really smell the crayon one.
God, yeah.
Smell the crayon one.
Yeah.
For those of you not watching in Smell-O-Vision, this is probably the most boring opening you've ever seen.
Or you could just rub a crayon behind your ear, couldn't you, if you ran out of...
Listen, I can't get over it that we have Simple Minds star Jim Kerr with us this morning. I'm absolutely made up about it.
Very
Jim,
kind, thank you.
Very, well, yeah, it's the sound of... it's like the soundtrack of... Yeah, Amanda's doing it. The soundtrack of my life. Jim and his childhood friend, Charlie Birchall, grew up together in the same tenement block in Glasgow and formed their first band, Johnny and the Self-Abusers, in the mid-70s. Great name, that one, Jim.
Been all downhill since then. Been all downhill.
So, what made you choose that name?
Well, it was in the heyday of punk.
Yeah.
And actually, it worked well for us because the first couple of punk bands that came to Glasgow, there'd been a riot. The Clash came, the Stranglers played. And so the City Fathers banned all, you know, visiting punk bands. But they didn't ban
Local ones.
local ones. So we were the only gig in town, you know. We were the only punks in town. And we had a fantastic 6 or 7 gigs. And then the day our single came out, our one and only single, in true punk, you know, spirit, we decided to split up and do the world a favour. But you know, in some ways it was a real joke, but it got us. I think had it not come along, perhaps you and I would be sitting in a pub just now saying, one day we'll get a band together. It was a catalyst.
Now, the pair became the Simple Minds in 1977, which means you have been at it now for 32 years.
Did you say at it? Getting away with it, you mean?
Yeah, getting away with it, 32
Just
years.
about, just
Still having fun? Do you still get a kick out of it?
We absolutely love it. I mean, we start with a new album that came out this week and getting the best reactions we've had for yonks. We start a world tour on Saturday night, and I can't believe at this stage of the game that we are as excited about it.
We've got it here. It's the 16th album, Graffiti Soul, it's called. And, I mean, it's quite obvious to me, I mean, I know all your stuff, but it is a kind of back-to-the-roots odyssey. And I'm guessing, because I know a little about Rockfield where you recorded it, because Hawkwind used to go there as well.
Oh, of course.
And, I mean, that is a back-to-the-roots place to record an album, isn't it? It's a farm.
Well, it is, yes. I mean, I was amazed to read this week. We were talking earlier about how, you know, stories take on their own life, especially when they go online. For those who don't know, Rockfield Studios, it's one of the great English recording studios. Welsh, actually. I better before you get everyone calling in. It's in Monmouth. But it is still a working farm, and we were explaining that to a journalist in the Daily Record, and, you know, we had a fantastic time there. Somehow that translated into we were shoeing horses and, you know, mucking out the barn and stuff, which hopefully the record will tell you that's not what we were doing.
Not the case.
Yeah.
There's something else, because on the back of the record here, it says, single, Stars Will Lead the Way, which is a nice track, but when I put it on in the car the first time, there's one track that really leapt out, which is called Rockets. And I came
You've got it back to front.
Because it is going to be Rockets is the first single.
Rockets is the current single, the first.
Right.
And I think you were saying to me earlier that you thought Stars...
It says it there on the back.
Ah!
See,
I'm confused
I was
now.
misrepresented, because Rockets, I think, is absolutely fab, as this clip shows. It's just got that, it's that hook, and it's just unmistakable, and I think that's the sign of a great band, is you have that at your own sound.
It drove me nuts last year. I couldn't get it, because it was this time last year we were writing it.
And you wrote it in different countries, you and Charlie?
Well, we did. I mean, it probably sort of reflects our lives. We still have our roots in Glasgow, but over the last 10 years, both Charlie, my songwriting partner, and myself have been in Italy a lot. And when we're neither of those places, we're usually on tour, and that's all that's going on. We're always creating.
So how do you, I mean, if you're apart, do you email stuff around, or do you actually wait to...
That does happen now. I mean, the great thing about our band, I think you get this with a lot of classic bands, you know, it's the axis of the singer and guitar player, and they're usually very alike, but at the same time very different. In our case, Charlie, he keeps the rock and roll hours, whereas I'm a bit more monastic. And I'll get up early, you know, in Sicily, where I spend a lot of time. I mean, the day's over by midday. It's so hot that you know,
So
you want to
what
get
time do you get up?
I get up, I mean, this will freak you out, I get up about 5 o'clock.
Showing your age now, Jim.
Well, I go to bed at 5 also.
But
there's nothing else going on.
But you and Charlie are the only two founding members, is that right? Have you got other...
We are, yeah.
Does that change the dynamics of the whole band?
To be fair, it does. I mean, we've been really very fortunate. Everyone we've worked with has brought something to the party, and it does cause ructions when they come and go, but on the other hand, if you're going to have a career for 30 years, you don't always want to be the same. You can return, as Matthew was saying, you can return back to a style, but, you know, you want to try different things. So to have a extended family's a good thing.
Jim, in terms of, you know, singer-songwriters, a traditional band, where are you on the current Simon Cowell manufactured, you know, pop phenomenon we have now?
Well, to be honest, I mean, I think
Do you like Susan Boyle? Come on, there are the colours to the mast.
Well, I have to say, when I you know, finally looked at sort of YouTube and saw the whole 6 or 7 minute thing of this woman waiting to go on and everyone having a giggle before she'd opened her mouth, and it was the ultimate sort of underdog coming good. The old eyes got a wee bit misty. I have to say, I was like, well, it can happen to us all, but
you saw how many hits she'd had.
Then that was enough. No, I think that thing really is more about, it's more about TV, isn't it, than music. There's been 1 or 2 stars.
You get the odd Leona Lewis. I mean, I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's probably about the only one I can.
There's not a lot. Yeah.
And the reality talent thing generally. I mean, do you think it's doing music any good?
I mean, they're selling records.
They don't originate the material, do they, Jim? That's the difference.
Are they going to be playing in 30 years?
What do you think, folks? Will they be playing in 30 years? No. No. Very wise. Talking to the audience, Harry, let's have a question from our audience.
OK, next to me is Lee, a professional clown, no less. Lee, what's your question?
Nice of you to come in your costume as well.
Well, I thought I'd make the effort for you, you know. No, but is it true you didn't want to record your biggest hit, Don't You Forget About Me?
It is true, and I'm glad that we eventually did. I
bet you are.
So is our bank manager. But what happened was, to be fair, for those who don't know it, we, in general, we've written most of our stuff, 99%. But that was a song that was the soundtrack of a movie called The Breakfast Club. That's right. And it was sort of put to us saying, oh, we've got a song here, it'd be good for you to get involved. And we thought, we listened to it, and yeah, it was in our ballpark, but the melody was good, the lyrics were a bit inane, and we thought, that week we were writing stuff like Alive and Kicking and you know, Sanctify Yourself and so on, and we thought, well, you know, do we need this? I'm glad, as I said, that we did, but the clinching thing was we actually knocked it back about 3 or 4 times, and the fellow who wrote the song...
Wow.
Yeah.
That's your Live Aid moment as well, wasn't it?
It's my pension. Well, it used to be my pension. It was, at that time, it took us to #1 in the States. To be honest, I hope this doesn't sound arrogant, we were already going through that door anyway. We'd had success, but that, you know, it kicked the door wide open. And it's a song that we sort of refer to, you know, I get in a taxi, that taxi moment, you must get it a lot, you know, and a guy will either say, Jim, you know, I was listening to, you know, Waterfront today, and I've got this album, that album, or else he'll go, you're the guy in Simply Red. And I go, no. Yeah. You're the guy in Simply Red that does Don't You Forget About Me. And I say, that bit's right, yeah. I said, do you know any of the other ones? No. But I played that at my wedding. And if you were to say to me, you know, I like them all. The guy who played our song, even if that's the only song he knows, great.
Well, thanks to Lee in our audience, so we have a chance to play a little bit. Check this out. I never realised you'd be shy and retiring. He was covering his head up.
That seemed to go on forever there.
Now, you mentioned you live in Italy. You said you go very... What do you do in Italy when you're not being a rock star?
Well, I mean, I thought 10 years ago when I first got involved in this project that I have in Italy, this hotel that I have in Sicily, I actually thought at that time...
Oh, my word, right, because I've heard about this, because the today's producer's sister stayed there on honeymoon. I can see why she chose it. That is
It honestly looks better than that. Man, you're killing me today. It looks, at least there's no scaffold there, but... it's a lovely place. People come and have a great time and such. But when I first got involved there 10 years ago, I really thought it was the only period where the music seemed like getting blood out of a stone. It really seemed then that perhaps that was it. But so I can't believe that 10 years from then we're sitting here feeling as buoyant as we are with the new stuff and the up-and-coming dates.
Olive oil? Is that what you make, olive oil?
I don't make it myself, Matthew.
I think I read it in an in-flight magazine, actually. So I'm sure...
Olive oil? Is that a bird down there or something like that? It's a lovely time to go there in October. Good deals as well. And being a Scotsman, it's... That's the time of year where you can go into the countryside and they're doing the vendemmia, you know, the grapes and the olives and stuff, and it is a wonderful time to go. And yeah, the local farmers, they always come up with their year's crop or their year's... It's
nice.
Lovely, yes.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Dominic was asking before we came on air, do you have problems with the mafia? And what was it, the response you said?
I'm from Glasgow.
Now, yeah, you were at your ex-wife Patsy Kensit's wedding the other day, but you've said, like I've said, that you're never going to get married again. Why?
Well, actually, I wasn't at Patsy's. You know, she invited me, and it's great to see her so happy. And Jeremy, her new husband, seems a great guy. But I think I jinx weddings, Matthew. You know, I haven't had a good track record myself. And but in response to what you're saying there, I mean, just when you say I would never, I found it a year later. Never. You know, a year later, you're suddenly thinking, oh well, you know. But, you know, who's going to go with a geezer that gets up at 5 in the morning and hangs out with the mafia?
I can think of a few people. I can think of
Give me the names. Give me the names.
You might find they're going to be giving you their names as you try and leave today. And one other thing for me as well, because I'm quite interested, because you also, like me, you love travelling, but you like travelling on your own. Is that right?
Well, I do. I mean, it does seem a bit odd, but, for instance, we start on Saturday night in Sweden, our tour, and for the next 6 months, I'm going to be travelling with a group of, I don't know how many. And it's... Okay. I love it, but I also love to travel, and, you know, I would even backpack, whatever, just to get out and get away from all of that. As much as you love it, you have to get away from it so that when you return, it's all exciting again. And just the idea of you know, it's very hard to go with a group or go with another, and I guess I'm a wee bit selfish, you know. It's like, I want to go down there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Showing my age.
I've spent some time on a tour bus, and I tell you, I admire anybody that chooses that as a way of life, because I could not do it.
Yeah, but look at the reaction at the end of the night. It's worth it for the audiences. It's fantastic. But I tell you what, those tour buses, these would come in handy.
Anything would come in handy.
Can I give these to some of our road crew?
They're probably drinking.
Listen, great to have you with us this morning. It really is. And we've got a cracking show for you at home as well. I should tell you about it. First, after the break, Jim's going to be taking us through today's papers. Our first phone-in.